We're back at it again with Porterverse Lore Ramblings. This is episode 8. For this episode, we're going to be focusing a little bit more on the narrow gauge railways deep in the subterranean hills of, Sodor. Anyway, so, without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1. Proteus was an 044 tank engine that worked on the Mid-Sodor Railway. He was based on Falcon's design, but was given a handful of modifications, most notably being the unified splashers and an extra set of trailing wheels, thus made him an 044T. Proteus worked on the MSR since it first opened, and he was sold off when the railway closed in 1941, and it was unknown where he was for the next few decades. In 1975, Proteus was surprisingly donated to the Skarloey Railway. It turns out that he spent the 50s, 60s, and half of the 70s in a private collection, and a collector had run out of space for Proteus, and Proteus arrived in a rather sorry state. He was all rusted up and had decaying paintwork. But thankfully, he was fully restored by 1977 by the Skarloey Railway. Number 2. Rumble & Bridge is actually named Silvercliff in the Porterverse. It's basically the same location as the TV series, but has a different name. Silvercliff is, in modern day, a tourist town that is best known for its silvery cliffsides that decorate the majority of the area, and the various ponds, geysers, and saunas that are also scattered all around. And the Skarloey Railway Station of Silvercliff first opened in 1962, and it was formerly a Mid-Sodor railway station as well. Silvercliff is where Freddy, Mighty Mac, Ivo Hugh, and Luke are stationed in present day. Number 3. Peter, Sam, and Falcon wore a variety of liveries during their work lives. By 1952, they were on the Skarloey Railway and wearing the railway's livery of red base coat with blue lining. When Duke was found and restored in 1970, PSM and Falcon were repainted back into their Mid-Sodor Railway liveries to commemorate Duke's return to steam, and they still wear these liveries in present day. Number 4. Dennis is the shunter at Timoth Harbor. After being withdrawn from service in 1959, the Timoth Port Authority purchased him and put him to work as the harbor's dedicated shunter, where he still works in present day. Number 5. Wilbert's visit to Sodor in the 1990s proved that by the end of his stay, the Fed controller knew that an engine like Wilbert was exactly what he needed, and so Sir Topham Hatt III acted accordingly and bought the one and only Warrington to become the new NAFR pilot. And Warrington was modified with a lambdom cab and a Giesel ejector. He was also repainted to northwestern blue. Warrington remains as the NAFR's pilot in present day. Number 6. The name of the L1 tank that runs the Arsdale tramway that I mentioned in an earlier episode of this series is named Sigrid. She is named after a historic figure in Southern history. Sigrid was repainted to northwestern brown, like Toby, after the tramway reopened in the 1970s. She only has the front and back cowcatchers, as side planes are required on this line. Sigrid is considered a rather kind and bubbly type according to other engines. She's good friends with a lot of them as well. It's pretty cool. Number 7. Juan Antares, the banker at Gordon's Hill, was withdrawn from service for an overhaul in 1957. Doug was temporarily brought over to Wellsworth to fill in. He wasn't the only engine to fill in then, as a 7F080 was relocated to the northwestern region to help Doug with any banking trains that were traveling up Gordon's Hill. After Antares returned from overhaul, this 7F was relocated to the Kirkronan branch line. When the Northwestern Railway split from British Railways in 1968, this 7F was repainted to LMS Maroon, as he was of LMS descent, and was thus christened with the name Thorkel. Thorkel, like Sigrid, was also named after an iconic figure in Sudrian history. Thorkel still runs the Kirkronan branch on this very day, and is the sole surviving class of the 7F080 tender engine class. Thank you all very much for watching this episode of Porterverse Lore Ramblings, and I will see you all in the next one.